It's impossible to escape the fact that all across Ireland, north, south, east, west, and in the middle, people are taking to the streets in communities in growing numbers with greater frequency. And they're all saying the same thing, that they're concerned about the future, not just their future, more importantly, their children's future. They're concerned about their safety, and they're concerned about their children's safety. And many people have questions that they just simply want answered. And in the vacuum of information and the silence that is there, people are understandably becoming angry, agitated, upset, concerned, furious in some cases, the way their communities are being treated and dismissed, cast off by their local councillors, their local political representatives, by their government. And one thing that I'm seeing, especially over the last week, is the demographic for the people that are taking to the streets is not young hooligans, drunken hooligans, masked up, wrecking the place, causing havoc, as the extreme left would have you believe, as the mainstream media would have you believe. They're normal, everyday people. Old women, old men, young women and men, teenagers, babies, children sitting on their father's shoulders. The full cross spectrum of people is there. And there are many documented protests that have been uploaded all over social media over the last week. The huge protest in Dublin, Carrickmacross, Kilkenny, last night in Bundoran on the bank holiday Monday, beautiful bank holiday Monday evening. Philip Dwyers was up there, and all these live streams, I'm going to put a link below in the description box to the full stream of this that Philip uploaded. It's about 2 hours long. It'll give you everything from the start. He talks to a lot of local people. The protest moves down into the town because it's outside a proposed iPass centre where a local businessman is going to be making a lot of money off of the back of other people's misfortune, and certainly causing misery to the people that are pictured at this protest. So if you want to see the full thing, go to the link in the description box below. Philip live streams all these events from start to finish, usually 2-3 hours long. I try and take little bite-sized chunks or little pieces of these that I believe are very significant, and that's what you are about to see right now. So if you can, check out the link below and support Philip as he tirelessly moves around Ireland. And there's other people doing it. Some of you may know of them. If there's other links, you want to throw them in the comments box below this video for other live streams for any of these events, please do so. Please do so. We're going to hear from a man right now, or we're going to hear from two men right now, a younger man and an elderly man, and they both voiced their concerns about what's happening in this town in Bundoran. So the main issue is that this school, there's a school, primary school and a secondary school and a GAA pitch right beside this proposed iPass centre, and there's no way of knowing who's going to be going into it, and nobody's addressing the locals' concerns. So we're going to hear from this first guy who speaks brilliantly and voices his concerns about keeping his daughter safe.
I'll tell you why I'm here, right? It's not because of them people in here. It's because of those children over there, right? My 5-year-old daughter is in that school, right? And for every day that she's in there, when these people, I don't know who they are, and I really don't fucking care, but I'm going to protect my daughter in that school from any threat whatsoever, right? And I'll be there every minute of the day, and I hope other parents are there while their kids are in there. There's a secondary school over there. There's a fucking J pitch there. And at the end of the day, I have selfish reasons. My reasons is my child. And I'm not going to have her. I'm not going to have her. I'm not going to have her stabbed in the neck like that child in Dublin who still hasn't recovered from her injuries. And I don't know whether those guards are going to protect my child, but I assure you of one thing. I will.
Right.
That's the position many people find themselves in at the moment. The guards are there when there's protests. We see public order vans in the streets of Dublin. We saw them in Carrickmoss last Friday night. Saw them in Kilkenny on Saturday. We see a Garda presence here, very visible presence here, when there's a public protest on of law-abiding Irish citizens. But are there any guarantees made for the safety of the children, for example, in this school? And as this big lad says, and fair play to him, whether they protect his daughter or not, he will. Is that not the most basic, primal instinct for a parent to do whatever it takes to protect their own child? Is that wrong? Is that wicked? Is that uncalled for? No, it's not. It's not. So this is this gentleman speaking, and now we're going to hear from an older man who speaks out about immigration, speaks out about his concerns, and I'll let you hear what he has to say.
Well, there's a man standing up to protect his child, folks. Well said, well done.
And that gentleman is 100% correct. Yeah. No matter what it takes to save the kids in that school, we have to do. And that's 100%, and well done on that. Fair play for coming up and saying that. And that's what everybody should be coming up and saying.
Yeah, well, John, I'm a grandfather. And that's why I'm here.
Huh?
That's why I'm here, right? And I've a granddaughter at that school there, Markinay, and I've another granddaughter in the VEC. And I think there's a few points now. One would be that I think, and maybe I speak for the majority of the Irish people, I feel that...
People can't hear you.
Huh? I feel that, the majority of Irish people have nothing against immigration, if it's done properly. You know, there have been immigrants coming here for I don't know how long, and they've always been made very welcome. They've integrated into the local communities, they're working, etc., etc. But the way that this has been done, it's been forced upon us Irish people. There is no thought given by the government to how we feel about it. But if it was Dalkey or Killiney or Blackrock in Dublin, places like that, it would not be acceptable. They wouldn't be accepted, you know. But
that's a very important point. This business that the government have said that their community should not have a veto against who moves into the area. For example, a community that's against an IPAS centre. An IPAS centre, for those outside of Ireland, is an international protection accommodation services, or a migrant hotel, refugee hotel, whatever you want to call it as, saying that communities should not have a veto on who goes in there. Yet, in some affluent areas of Dublin, for example, very recently, a wealthy community did have a veto, it appeared, throwing their money behind them, getting the best legal representation to block an IPAS centre going in on their doorstep. And as he rightly pointed out, it doesn't work that way in Donegal.
I'm sort of losing the way that this has been done. You know, people coming with no documentation. I don't have to tell you, folks. You all know the story. No documentation. You know, and then people say, "Oh, but you look at what about all the immigrants that went to America?" Surely, and I had aunts and uncles that went to America way back. But they had their documentation. And they worked. Yes, thank you. They worked. And, you know, these people then are coming here and they're getting freebies, shall we say. You know,
They've
they're
been
getting...
housed before the Irish, that's simple.
Thank you, John.
And they're getting freebies.
Yes. They're getting housed before the Irish, as John said here, and I agree wholeheartedly with him. They're getting euros, free euros, they're getting health care, they're getting this, that. I was reading recently, and this is nothing against the Ukrainians or anybody, but I was reading an article about where if their car breaks down or that, they can go to the garage and throw it in and say, charge it up to the government. Yeah. I can't go up that town and have a steak and chips and say to the owner, charge it up to the government. I'd be arrested by these boys here, you know. So the government...
This is how ludicrous the position is right now. Listen to what that man said. He said some Ukrainian refugees, asylum seekers, driving nice cars are getting them serviced in some cases and maintained a new engine in other cases by the Irish government, funded by the Irish taxpayer. And as this gentleman said, if he went up the street and asked for steak and chips, and could the owner of the restaurant charge it to the Irish government, he would be arrested by the guards. This is just insanity, people. That's why it's important that this sort of thing is put out there for the world to see. It's put out there for the world to see. And as he also points out, that the people coming in, who they are, in some cases, who knows, are being housed and looked after and given medical treatment preferences above and beyond Irish citizens.
Court is to blame for this. There's no doubt about it. And they're useless. I have never in all my life come across such a useless shower in all my life.
We don't take charge of it now. It's up to us. It's up to the Irish people.
Well, yes, correct, young fella. And it's up to us, the people, to protect their property, to protect their families, and protect their wives. Even now, above in our house.
Bottom line is, what this man, this elderly gentleman, this wise man is saying is the government are a shower. There's no disputing that fact. I don't see anybody saying any positive words about the Irish government or the English government, British government, the French government, German government, Swedish government, you name it. But yet they're all there. They're all pushing this through, which does beg a lot of questions about the integrity of the voting system. A lot of people who said, nah, it's all legit, it's all above board. Even the most staunch backer of the legitimacy of the electoral processes are starting to ask questions. Can this be real? Can this be real? So anyway, that's some feedback from Bundoran. Again, the link to the full stream will be in the description box under this video through to Philip Dwyers' X feed, and there's a post there. You just click on it and the full 2 hours is playing. And if you can, support Philip, because he does a lot of work on this. He's moving around. It's his business to be doing this. He's making a real dent in the lack of information that's there because of the blackouts from the mainstream media and the suppression on many social media platforms. So full live streams on his page. This is just a little snippet that I thought you people might be interested in, just to give people outside of Ireland also a flavour of who's taking to the streets. Who's taking to the streets? Just normal, everyday people, not extremists, not right wing, not crazies. So share this content, of course, wherever you want to, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Leave a comment, as many of you do. It's amazing the responses to these videos, the outpouring of people's opinions and their anger and their disbelief in many cases. And it's not just from Ireland. There are people leaving comments from all over the world, from Canada, from South America, from Europe, from America, everywhere, saying that they're watching with intent what's going on here. So subscribe to the channel. Think about joining the channel if you haven't already done so. There's a little join button beside the subscribe button, I think. I'm not sure how it looks to someone who's a guest on the channel. But if you join the channel, you get access to a weekly Q&A video that I do for channel members, where you get to leave me questions and comments you want me to give my opinion on directly. I'll do that for the video and then interact in the comments, because it's hard to keep up with all the comments at the minute. But with the channel members, I'm able to see their stuff highlighted, so it's easier for me to pick out. So anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope the weather's good where you are. The sun's actually shining here at the minute. So for now, I'm Rick Munn, No Risk, No Reward Media, over and out.